controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Coach's Box. As you can see, we look like the damn Brady Bunch here, except somebody doesn't have their own square. Well, that way. But hey, we're here. We
not like the others.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, but appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to try to have a little bit of fun with it. So that way we did this over Zoom a long time ago. It probably sucked because, well, we definitely didn't know anything about technology. We still don't know enough about it, but we're going to try to make it fun. We want to get everybody together. We didn't know how much weather we were going to have. So, hey, we decided to do this over Zoom and have a pre-recorded show. So all this is pre-recorded. If you want to comment, feel free to. We'll get to read them later, laugh about it. We'll probably make some comments back and have some fun with it. So we're going to get going here now that we kind of got that all out of the way, and talk a little bit about the high school basketball scene. I mean, it's almost over, really. It's about 4 weeks left of it, of guaranteed basketball. So let's just jump into the two guys in the box down there by themselves. Talk a little bit about the Herky Black Cats.
Let's hold on a minute. We got somebody on this show new. Do we need to introduce somebody?
No,
I mean, somebody's new in here. I don't know who it is.
No.
Well, which one?
I mean,
is it Kevin? Is it Jim? I mean,
is it Zach?
Yeah, I mean, last week it was me, you, and Miller had to carry the load. My back hurts, man.
It's the OG3.
Yeah,
yes.
it was.
Yeah.
OG3.
That's right.
Who's that guy right there in the purple?
Did you see me get to eat victory wings? Man, they taste so good. Oh man, those are some good wings.
Yeah,
I'd like to reintroduce myself to everybody. I'm Jim Powers, otherwise known as Riley Blair's whipping boy. Thank you very much.
Or Casper number 2.
I was thinking more big time, but whatever. Yeah, Blair came over here because we figured us public school guys have to stick together.
It's the only way to do it.
Well, why don't you talk about your teams?
Hey, just because it took both of you guys to figure out how to work that Zoom call.
Like I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't even know how to do it either.
I know. It's like a scene from Zoolander. How do I get the files out of the computer?
I haven't watched Zoolander in so long. All right, so back to what counts in life. Talk about the teams.
Well, this week we playing out in the Hillsboro tournament. Played last night against the Blue Knights. Won in double overtime. Was a kind of a crazy basketball game.
Who's player of the game?
Hey, what's that?
Who's player of the game for you?
Her name would be Jillian Jarvis.
That's right.
Hey, before we get to that part of the game, how about he had the best freaking assistant he could ever have last night?
I wasn't there. Was Jim
Mike
back
Buddy?
on the bench?
Yes.
Mike Buddy was on the bench.
Buddy guy.
I brought my winning ways over there to the girls' side.
Yes.
Is that why you guys were in the matching? Is that why you guys were in the matching T-shirts last night? Because I kept noticing who was sitting over there in red, like a T-shirt.
Yes,
type
we were.
deal.
We were matching. Yes, we were.
Yes, we were matching. We had black pants. I had, when you come to the girls' side, you got to match everything. Like I don't know,
uniform.
Hey, he's got it. They got the same shoes. I can't pull it off. My kid wears lime green shoes. What do you do? But yeah, they
Jarvis?
double overtime. It was one of the ugliest games I've ever witnessed, but they won.
Yeah, it was definitely wasn't a pretty game of basketball last night. But our kids found a way to win down the stretch. We probably didn't lead until maybe late in the intermission at the last of the fourth quarter there. I think we had a 1-point lead, and then they tied it with a free throw. But then we went to double overtime and was able to come out with a 4-point win and set up a game that you'll be watching tonight. And it's against Seckman. So
who made the bucket to take the lead before they made that free throw?
That might have been Jillian Jarvis.
I don't know. It might have been my bucket, but it was, dude, it was a rough game. Like I say we because I was on the staff that night. I mean, I thought Jim Powers was on there, but
I was watching.
Evidently, he needs to be fired.
I was watching via YouTube. I was watching everything last evening. That's why I noticed the matching coaches' uniforms last night looking like cannibals or something.
I think what he's getting at, he saw two big bellies. That might have been what the matching was. But yeah, it was. The girls struggled most of the game, and it was a struggle, and they had to fight back the whole entire game. And then the fourth, they took the lead there and ended up going tied. Then had a chance to win it, missed the free throw to win the game, went to overtime, and went to double overtime. And they finally pulled it out. It was a long game.
Yeah, it was a long night of basketball at Hillsboro. You saw the first game of the night. The Seckman Jaguars upset the number 2 seed Hillsboro Hawks. So we'll be able to go against the Seckman Jaguars, which will be tonight. We'll play them for the right to go to the championship on Saturday. So, it's a fun tournament. We got the 3 seed in that thing, and hopefully we can find a way to get to the finals on Saturday and maybe have a chance to win the championship.
So you're playing to be in the finals tomorrow?
I'm hoping to be, yes. That's
so I'm playing to be in the finals tomorrow too.
Could be a fun Friday and Saturday night for Black Cats.
Yeah, it's good. Good you started off here. But the boys team, I can't talk about Friday without getting sick to my stomach. Mm-hmm. Still, the R7 game lost a heartbreaker by 2 points there. Probably one of the most exciting games I've ever been in as a coach. If you got to see the third quarter alone, maybe one of the best quarters of basketball I've seen all year.
Jason, here's my question. Did anybody miss a 3-pointer in the third quarter? Because there was a stretch where I think there was 9 straight threes that were hit between both of you guys.
Mike Rickerman actually reffed his game last night and reffed our game on Friday, and he said that him and Marler looked at each other and just started laughing because us and our 7 hit 7 threes in a row, 7 trips in a row where a 3 was hit.
Yep.
And it was an electric atmosphere. And, I don't usually talk well of our 7, but I will on this point that they do that Hoops of Hope thing. They donated a lot of money to needy families. They donated to Brendan's backpack and I think it was a lady or it was a lady that had cancer, and they do a really good job with that. And it's just a great. And I said this last week. I'm going to say it again. I want to say it on air. I said it on the radio after the game. If these ADs want to get rid of these 4-game nights, it's ridiculous. They are the best atmosphere of small school basketball. The kids, I have kids that came to that game that were on my team like 6 years ago when we swept our 7 at their place. Mm-hmm. And that's probably one of their best memories of basketball is that 4-game night. And I hope we keep them because they're so much fun. Then we're in the Bruce Thomas tournament. We had Hancock first round. We beat them 70-35. We continued shooting the ball really well. And I sure hope we can shoot the ball well against Northwest because we're going to have to because they play really good defense and That's who we got to play tomorrow. It's a rematch. We lost 35-34 to them the first time around we played them, and they're a very big and physical team, and we're making some adjustments, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Okay.
You talk about that. They talk about those atmospheres, and I mean, I know a lot of you guys are watching probably on the YouTube and on whatever Friday night, but just the whole overall format. I mean, that's 2 Fridays in a row that there's been a packed house to watch a high school basketball game in Jefferson County.
Well, an electric conference games. I mean, the Pius game at our place, that there was hardly any room to sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Both crowds, Pius crowd, our crowd, having a good time. The kids, everybody. I mean, and then some parents that maybe don't see the boys play much because they're on the girls' side, or vice versa. And it's just a great night of basketball to have those 4-game nights. And I just hope people don't get rid of them.
Yeah, no, and I think the whole point of it is I love what Jefferson does out there with that Hoops for Hope. I mean, they give $6,000 to that family. They gave $1,500 to Brennan's backpack, and it just goes back to show you that Jefferson County and its surrounding communities and school districts are all in this for one purpose, and that's for the community. And for us to get rid of these things would be a disjustice to the community, in my opinion. When we started this, 7 or 8 years ago, when we started doing these, I mean, just alone, the kids is what they remember most about, is the atmosphere that they played in. They don't remember what the final score was, I promise you, but they will remember the atmosphere. They'll remember the moment. They'll remember the opportunity they had. They may remember the play they didn't make or they did make or whatever, but the overall portion of it, 10 years down the road, they'll just remember that moment,
Silence from the private.
No, I didn't know you were done talking, so I didn't want to say anything.
Well, let me ask you guys as head coaches here, is that something that, if doing a 4-game night, is that something that could go across the board in terms of every conference game on a Friday? I mean, would you have to start that in December to go through? I mean, you're going to have 5 games, 6 games, or whatever, at least on the small school side. I know the large school goes head to head or home and home, but is that something where you as the conference could say, we're just going to make this a Friday night thing across the board?
I think I think it'd be a great idea, simply for the fact that I think it would make the game much more meaningful in the sense, because the crowds are big, the atmosphere is awesome, and makes the kids play up to that level. And I feel like it's going to make it a good game. Even if it's 15, 20-point game, it's still a good game because it's got the atmosphere in it. It's got the opportunity for maybe a team to win a conference championship, but they've got to win it in a big time environment. And, I think that's what it's all about, is if we're only going to do one game, I feel like that would be the opportunity to play them in front of a big crowd where it's, electric in there. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and it means something. Every single one of those games means something.
The big schools, I don't think, can pull it off. I mean,
which is
I
why
don't know
it's
that they could
probably
do
not
it.
going to be a conference thing. It's not going to be a conference thing because they look at the large and small together. So this would be the small schools deciding. Small schools aren't their own conference, so they can't just say the JCA is going to do this because of that.
I mean, the only school that we're not doing a 4-game night with St. Vincent, right?
Correct.
But if we did it, it would have to be St. Vincent would be included and have the 4-game. You'd have to have a 4-game night down in Perryville. Doesn't like getting Valoroid for 4 straight games.
Well, we did that 2 years ago with snow out. We ended up having to have a Saturday, and we had the 4-game on a Saturday down there, and it was a cool atmosphere too. I mean, remember that a couple years ago?
I
we
just
had a speed meeting for districts and head down.
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea of conference games being played in December, because I mean, you've had I think it was either Vincent Crystal or maybe a Vincent Jefferson. Even maybe on the girls' side, I think that they
already played on the board
in December.
They play in December.
Do them.
I don't like that.
You can do them in January. If it's only the small schools, you can do the 5.
And
you got
ours
4 weeks in January and 1. And if it leaks over, you got 2 weeks in February.
And I play St. Vincent on a Tuesday, so that would have to be changed. I I don't think you're going to
Saves
get
that
all the
long-ass
schools.
trip to Perryville.
I don't think all the schools are going to jump on board of doing the 4-game nights.
If
I
all
just
of them
think-
already do,
I think they already are. I think the only thing the stipulation is once again, you know, we're looking at, and we talked about this a little bit last week. You know, they're wanting to go where it's a JV on Thursday night doubleheader and then a Friday night varsity doubleheader. But once again, as coaches, you're going to have to be there both nights. As administrators, you're going to have to be there both nights. So at the end of the day, like to me, what's best for the kids is to have that 4-game a night, 4-game environment where, you know, everything is done in one night. Even if I have to stay an extra 2 hours, it's all in one night.
And I'm totally against this JV on Thursday and varsity on Friday. I have a young kid. I have 2 older kids, but I have a young child too, and I'm out enough. I mean, I'm gone during basketball season enough, and I know you guys know, especially you late practice guys at Pius know. I know that. But if we're gonna do Thursday, Friday, I mean, now we're putting not only that, he's talking about just we as coaches want to be there, but varsity's going to have to practice Thursday. So we're going to have
both varsities.
Varsities. So he's going to have a practice. I'm going to have a practice. We're probably going to both go early. We only have one gym, so we're probably going to practice together, which whatever, if it's just my varsity. But the whole deal is then I'm going to go to the JV game and then not get home until late because it's going to be a girls and a boys. And then turn around on Friday and do 2 varsity games. I just think that's stupid.
The varsity of the idea is thinking that if you start a JV game at 4, you're going to start another game at 5:30. You're going to start the next game at 7, and then that last game is going to start at 8:30.
That last
game's not starting till 9. That last game's not starting till 9 or 9:15 at the earliest.
You can cut out 10-15 minutes. I started a 10-minute warm-ups.
I would do that, or there's absolutely zero reason why you couldn't just start that first JV game
Friday
at 3:30.
Friday night we started
everything right on time.
It was maybe 5 minutes be late. I think you guys were maybe
like 8:35. I think is when the varsity boys game started.
And that's for the first time a lot of them they just get behind.
Now our JV boys got their butts kicked, so that game went pretty quick.
It probably
that helped.
Put it back on track.
That helped.
But the other thing is you look at, you know, you don't only maybe do an 8-minute halftime in the JV games, and you only do a 10-minute warm up in the JV games. That eliminates 15 minutes, 20 minutes right there alone between the 2 games. So, you know, I think it just goes to say that, you know, maybe you could do it and make it feasible for the overall and best interest of the kids. And to me, that's why we're in this business, for the kids.
Well, you know, I agree. And I like the 4-game nights. I think the problem that you have is not all schools are going to be on board. I think at best, and not make it a conference thing, I think what should happen is between Herky and us and R7 and anybody else in the small schools who wants to do it, we just schedule our games on these block of dates, Fridays, and we do 4-game nights. And I don't see why we can't do that outside of, you don't have to worry about it being a conference thing or being worry about St. Vincent and Perryville kind of thing. Here's what we have right here. Here's the dates that we're going to block off that we're playing these schools. And this is how it's going to be. 4-game nights, done.
You're going to lose tournaments.
You know, one thing why we can't hear Chris right now. But you know, Jason, you mentioned one thing about, or Zach may have mentioned it, about conference games in December. Okay. And I'm going to go up here, you know, in the metro area. CBC and Chaminade played back in early December, first conference game. Mm-hmm. Now, if you flip that script right now and they don't play until January, you know, CBC won that game. Chaminade's hitting their stride right now. Chaminade probably gets the sweep against them if they play in January, and that's kind of how the MCC's all set up.
Yeah, MCC plays home and away, don't they?
Yeah, they play the home and homes, and I mean, especially this year, you know, with that conference, it's just so stinking up in the air because No, I mean nobody's got a lot of seniors, a lot of young kids. This isn't your typical CBC team. Chaminade's only got BJ Ward and Nillian Daniels, who's shooting lights out of the ball. But if that game takes place in January later on in the year, I think it's a different scenario.
Yeah, and I think it does make a difference, and I think that's why Chris said it right there. You get together and you say, okay, hey, Pius, Star 7, maybe Grandview and Herky want to get together. We want to set up these 4-game nights. Okay, perfect. Let's look at the calendar. Boom. Let's set these dates every year. This Friday, this Friday, this Friday, this Friday. We already do.
We already have them set. And the small school conference already has them set. There's not a problem with us other than St. Vincent. And if St. Vincent doesn't want to do it, I'm fine. Okay, fine.
I don't see an issue then if they don't want to do it. We just say whoever's wanting to do it, let's just do it, and we're going to schedule our games on Friday nights, and that's it. Right. Done deal. Yeah. That's something that coaches, boys, girls coaches, the ADs, all just say, hey, we're on board with this. You on board with this? You on board with this? Good. This is what we're going to do. Here's our Friday games. Here's who we're playing. Done. I mean, I don't see a problem with it.
If you take St. Vincent out, then you got the 4 conference games. You still got that tournament week you can schedule around the Bruce Thomas week. And
you got to think you got
plenty of time left, but you don't have to play in December.
So you can play that first Friday in January. You can play the second Friday in January where us and Herky play. Then you play after Bruce Thomas. You can play the next Friday and the next Friday. That's fine.
Which is how it is.
Yeah. I mean, we used to play Grandview on the first Friday in January, excuse me, and they got into the bourbon tournament or something, I don't know, but they wanted to move our game with them, so we actually play them now the last Tuesday in February that you can play regular season games. So that's our last conference game is that week, but we used to play them on that Friday. So I like playing the conference games on Friday. I like the 4-game night. I think it's a good idea. Maybe we all just sat here and came up with a really good idea to present to the ADs and other coaches in the conference from this show. We just created something. Bam.
Hey, I know if I was the AD in that conference, you guys would do it. So I'm all for it. I think
let's get you as an AD. In this conference. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I think it's great. I wish there was more opportunities, up here in the St. Louis area for those types of games, because I just think some of the crowds would be fantastic, and different things along those lines. But not a lot of teams or not a lot of people up here want to do that. And here's the other reason that would help. It would help with the official shortage.
Yes.
I mean, you'd have 2 guys working 2 games in the JV back to back, and then you'd have the 3 guys working the varsity games. Now, I know Langhauser and Nolan don't want me saying that because they don't want to drive down to Jefferson County because they've already made that abundantly.
Wait a minute, they drove down to St. Jan.
Oh, I know they did.
And they screwed him over in the whole game anyway.
Here we go.
I hope they watch tomorrow.
Riley, we will hear this from them tomorrow.
Do we have the disclaimer queued up?
We do. So
I should get that graphic and just throw it up on the screen, kind of thing. But I don't.
I think it's going to help
those
a lot
2
of
guys. That's
things.
fine.
But
quick, because Miller
Jim, you're talking. I think that the biggest thing about it is I don't think that any ADs in our conference are against it. I just think that some of them maybe are against it as far as they feel like they want to put the JV in one night. And here's once again, I think the reason why they want to do that is because it is a hard problem to get officials. And so those JV officials can work a Thursday night, which frees up another varsity crew to maybe come in and do an early game in the city and then come down here and do 2 varsity games on a Friday night. So I get why some of them are looking at that, but at this big scheme of things, I mean, personally, it's what's best for our kids.
That's right.
As a whole in that county. And
you're only talking about 4 nights of games. That's it. 4 Fridays. That's it.
You ask any official that was involved Friday night. You ask Rickerman. You ask Scott. You ask Marler if they didn't enjoy that night. They did. officials want to officiate games that are like that.
Sure they do.
Absolutely, they do.
And those type of games are fun. I mean, that third quarter, even though I lost, that third quarter was freaking. I mean, I'm going here, then I'm going, then I'm going here, then I'm
Jason,
going.
you should have seen the text string between the four of us during that third quarter. I mean, between Zach, Chris, myself, and Kevin, we just kept going. Oh my gosh! I mean, that's how insane it was.
Well, it's funny because we haven't always historically shot really well at R7. It's a totally different.
It's a weird gym to shoot in.
Well, yes. I love that gym. I think
yellow lighting.
No,
that's Grandview.
Cavernous. There's
that
great background.
Nice though. It has all the space. Like I love that the fans are not near me or the players. I love that there.
So Jason can use his big boy words when he's coaching because they're not around to hear.
That has nothing to do with it. Really.
He didn't deny it.
A little bit.
It has to do with I don't need the parent of my 6-man or 7-man or whatever sitting right behind my bench. I just don't need it. And not only that, you
don't want the coaching advice mid-quarter.
Change plenty of coaching advice, bro.
Shoot threes.
Make your free throws. Don't you practice those? I don't know how many times I've heard that.
You know what's
before we go to break, do we want to hear from the Pius guys about how their season is going?
No, who cares about them? But
on to Cincinnati.
Evan, how's your season going?
On to Cincinnati.
You know what's so
on
funny?
To Cincinnati.
Free throws. You brought those free throws up. The only 2 free throws we missed on the night, fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We were 8 of 10 from the free throw line. And I've had so many people, well, you guys shot bad from the free throw line. I go, did you look at the game? We shot 8 of 10. We just happened to miss 2 when they needed them.
I wish you guys would have missed 2 like the week before, and that'd been great.
No, the hell with that.
No, he didn't want to miss those because he knew he was winning wings that night. I mean, come on. There's a big
got the wings.
Hey, I'm just waiting for Chris at some point to say over at Robinson Gymnasium, is going to be the new St. Vincent, because I think the foul total for Chris is about 40 to 8.
I'm not commenting on any officiating. That's not the reason we've lost any games.
Hey, Zac McVey, once again.
I didn't say that.
No, once again, I've said this. I've said it a million times. I don't get to pick the officials at Robinson Gymnasium. They are assigned to us.
I know. It's the same thing we talk about with Bruce.
Plus, Chris has got everything going for him. The only district title he's ever won was in Robinson Gymnasium.
Hey, one of the best things I've ever seen was in that gym that won that guy a district title.
Which guy were you pointing to, Jason?
I was going to say, Kevin.
Us who you were pointing to?
Whoever was on my screen in the second one. That's who did.
The one in the middle. It wasn't me I was pointing at because I've never won a district or a conference title.
And it wasn't me because I haven't won
he's
a district title.
I mean, if somehow Pius loses at some point, this guy might get his 4th. Who knows? Never know how it might fall.
Pius Girls had a big win last weekend.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they
beat Narings Hall at Narings Hall.
Yes, they
so
did.
it was a good win. So they're still playing well. Since Chris doesn't want to talk about the boys team.
Wait, I didn't say I didn't want to talk about him. I just said on to Cincinnati.
You just said on to Cincinnati.
Yeah. We
Cincinnati.
Well, before we go to break, we played Pacific last night. And they they got their big 6'6" kid back who's injured just about all year, and he's a pretty good player. All district last year, and a pretty
big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's got good moves, and we had a hard time, containing him, which we really didn't. And then we had a couple kids getting into foul trouble, and it's all our fault because we didn't play well. We didn't make good decisions. And if we do that tomorrow against Windsor, Windsor's got a good program. Ryan does a really good job there. That's a good group of kids. We're going to have to really show up to play. Otherwise, we're going to be playing for consolation or 7th place, or hell, I don't even know how that bracket goes. But we'll figure out what we'll be playing for on Friday night and go from there. So hopefully. Hey, I'll be honest with you. We have not, since I've been at St. Pius, we have not played well at the Bruce Thomas tournament. I really hate that. I want to get kicked out on the game before we play at Bruce Thomas, so at least I can just skip one of those days, because I swear is everything in me. Every time we go there, we just don't play well. And I don't know if the kids just don't like going there so damn much or what. I don't know, but either way. We even the group that won the district, we got 3rd place. We got upset in the semifinals by a team we should have beat. You guys beat us a couple years ago, Jason. Gateway Legacy beat the absolute piss out of us because coaches don't know how to seed it. And then again, here we're playing again in the game. We could have had an opportunity. The game was tied in the 4th quarter, and we just made some poor decisions. So I don't know. We just don't play well. If the Bruce Thomas tournament means Pius sucks tournament, I guess maybe you should put that in the tagline underneath it, and then that way Jason, more people can show up.
Jason just got a new name for his tournament.
That's fine.
The Pius sucks tournament.
But hey, I'll tell
work out, man, because
I will tell you what happens is
they want to come to it.
What happens is we kind of rebound after that, and we've played well after that tournament since I've been there for 4 years. So I'm hoping for 3 years. I'm hoping this year will be no different, because I think while we're still struggling, I think our district's set up where we can have an opportunity to be competitive in it.
Well, do me a favor and beat our 7s A blank blank. All right.
I'll let Sean know, and we'll see if he can comply.
Hey,
he doesn't watch the show.
I've given you every film I had on him, so let's get her done.
We'll see how it goes. All right, we need to go to break. So when we come back,
he must be quiet now.
No, it has nothing to do. We
definitely not calling it like he sees it.
I see it.
Coach speak.
You don't want me to go all 100%.
If that was ever said he was going to kick you off the show or something. I don't remember him saying something like that.
Oh, you guys are so full of shit. It ain't even funny. Anyway, we come back. We're going to be talking about Scott Rowland. He's in the Hall of Fame now, and how much the Baseball Hall of Fame sucks. We'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll be right back.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
You aren't looking for a cookie cutter experience with your agent. You are looking for someone who is going to go above and beyond or think outside the box. You are looking for someone who is going to be there for you no matter what, and someone who is going to walk you through the entire process. My name is Kelly Kaufman with Gateway Real Estate, and my passion is the people I work with. Real estate is personal. A home is not just the four walls, it's the people who live there and the memories you share. That's why I focus on the people I serve and make them a top priority throughout the entire process. I'm there for you. No matter what your budget is, no matter where you are, and no matter how long it takes, I will be there with you every step of the way. If you are looking for an agent who cares about you and will do everything to make sure you are taken care of, give me a call. 314-221-6090.
I'm the team mascot, and boy, am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Ow, what a hit. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem like me. Woo!
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands? Case and Bucks and Barnhart welcomes back the 2-pound pork steak special every Thursday. Kids eat free every Tuesday, and all-you-can-eat soup and salad every day, all day, only at Case and Bucks and Barnhart, home of over 55 appetizers. Learn more at caseandbucksbarnhart.com.
A question about my listing price.
Updating listing to Lizard Heights.
No, listing price.
Wizard Kites.
Can I talk to a real human agent, please?
Are you tired of high school sports behind a paywall? Then you need to check out Maritime Sports, your high school sports source. We at Maritime pride ourselves on covering sports with student athletes as our main interest and putting the spotlight on them. You can check out our articles, photo galleries, and much, much more, all for free. So check out Maritime Sports at our website, maritimesports.net.
All right, welcome back to the next segment of the Coach's Box. We've had a little bit of fun here in our in-between time here while you guys are getting to see some commercials from our sponsors. Jim's changing his clothes on the air. That's great. And
viewership.
Representing.
Oh, here we go.
Boy.
Gosh.
Hey, why don't you represent by
changing-
getting some stats in, bro?
When he
Oh,
was
my gosh.
changing, he was kind enough to leave the frame and then come back.
Yes, he did do that.
Thank you, Zach. Once again, me and Zach taking care of each other.
Zach, are
Ain't
you
nobody
Zach?
want to see that.
Zach, are you experiencing an earthquake right now? I'm getting seasick watching your screen bob up and down. What is happening over there?
I don't know. It's a New Madrid fault. I don't know what to tell you.
A little south of you.
I knew. Wait a minute here.
Wow.
What's going on behind the scenes in the McVey house?
Oh,
I lived like 1,000 feet from you. My screen's not shaking.
All right, moving on to what counts.
Maybe one of these days, Kevin.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
So Scott Rowland made the Hall of Fame. He was the 2023 Baseball Writers Hall of Fame, or whatever it's called. I can't remember the official name for it, but the Baseball Hall of Fame. He'll be going to Cooperstown, whatever it is. It's too many acronyms things, but anyway, he's going in, but he's the only one who got voted in by the writers for the second year now, not third, second year in a row. And while we all think, I think everybody here agrees that Scott Rowland is quite deserving of being in the Hall of Fame and very beloved as a member of the Cardinals when he was here. Why are we only getting one guy entering the Hall of Fame in baseball? Anybody care to comment on that?
Oh, I would love to. It's
of course
it's an antiquated system. It really, truly is.
Wait. You got to dumb it down.
Hold on.
Don't use big words.
Jarvis.
Don't use big words. And Riley's had a couple Pepsis.
Hold on.
Adult Pepsis. So you gotta have to dumb that down a little bit. And me, I'm just dumb anyway. So dumb that down for me.
Their system is garbage. How does
there
that
we go? I
sound?
like that.
It's
there we go.
Garbage system.
I know what garbage is.
Yeah, and their system with how they do this is absolutely terrible. It really is. It's the worst in all professional sports, without a doubt. When you're letting the writers vote. Okay, I get that, but you're making the threshold. You've got to be over 75% on everybody's ballot in order to get in. That's where the joke starts and stops. There are so many other guys that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame that have been close. I mean, there's been guys that have been at 74.5, 0.5% away, 1 vote away, and they don't get in.
And there's some guy on their ballot that only votes for 1 or 2 players instead of the full 10. It's not even a full ballot.
Yeah, and there was actually a writer this year that you're allowed to have 3 scratches, I believe. Scratch 3 guys, didn't vote for anybody. That it's the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. When I love how the NFL writers do it for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think they do it the right way. There's 20 guys. They all lock themselves into a room, at the Super Bowl, and they vote on who they want.
I just know why on earth are writers? Why are they the ones that are picking the Hall of Fame?
Well,
it makes no sense.
Here's why. So back in whenever this happened in the 30s, wasn't it? Jim, you were around back then, right? So it was in the 30s.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's go back to age jokes again.
Absolutely. Don't worry. I got a bunch of them. So
I know you do.
You're welcome. And so the writers had all the power because they were the people who were connected. They're as far as nationally. So they knew if you were living in Los Angeles, but obviously baseball wasn't very around there, but to be connected in those nationally, the writers had all the power. So they're the ones who decided who was going to be in the Hall of Fame originally. And it's just been like that since. It's not changed. The writers are the ones who do it. The problem is the way the writers feel about the game has not matched the way the game has went. As the game has progressed and grown, where let's just take for example, I watched the Nolan Ryan documentary not too long ago. I loved it. It was great. And I'm just sitting there thinking, man, there's nobody like that. There will never be anybody like that again. But baseball's changed, just like you don't have a guy who's going to go out there and throw 200 pitches in a game. The writers they haven't moved from some of the way that they feel about the game. And you even talk about the steroid era. The steroid era, they still have this big, it was a disgrace. Don't tell me those a-holes didn't profit off writing about McGuire, about Sosa, about Bonds.
Their papers absolutely.
Absolutely. So if that's the case, you're going to, and again, was it wrong? Sure. But how many of them did something that was wrong or illegal or gray? But you're making money off of it. And they're not in because, they did something that blemished the game. Are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me?
They brought baseball back. They brought baseball back.
Yeah.
I mean, I still, one of the best 30 for 30s is that McGuire Sosa.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something Go ahead, Jason.
Forget it. I was going to say, I'll never forget it. That was some of the best years I ever had watching baseball.
Is that something that the Players Association could bargain for in the CBA?
No. It's a different entity. I have always thought that the actual living Hall of Famers should have a say in some of this as well. In that sense,
how many
have
guys
a say who joins their fraternity?
I mean, how many guys even that have retired from baseball before Scott Rowland that our names are never even on the ballot?
Yeah.
Well,
very well deserved.
I saw a great comparison today of somebody who had very similar stats and accolades to Scott Rowland, but was about 20 years before his time. And that's Dale Murphy.
Oh, wow.
And Dale Murphy has Scott Rowland numbers almost exactly.
That's better than.
Yeah. In some instances better. And he was thought as kind of a middle of the pack. He was close, but nobody really ever expected him to get into the Hall of Fame.
It's really
if you use those numbers,
right? What's really funny? Really a side story. So you know how baseball gloves have somebody's name in cursive in the palm.
Yeah.
Mine is Dale Murphy. That's so my baseball glove I used my whole life has Dale Murphy in it. And I just thought and that's ironic because I heard that too saw it too about his numbers. And I think it's just a really stupid system. I mean, it just is. It's dumb. It's outdated.
It's outdated. Like I said, using big words, it's antiquated. Our words.
Now I know what that means. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. They need to change it. But real quick, did you guys see the video today of when Roland found out and he walked into his parents' kitchen, told his mom, and then told his dad? His dad's like, "What's going on?" That was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
is to see that. I mean, and Scott deserves it. The career he had. I think he's going to go win as a Cardinal because that's really where he got, the bulk of his success was in a Cardinal uniform.
He better go in as a Cardinal.
And that's the question I think everybody's asked it. And they even asked him today, and he said, I'll have to get some, first conversation with some people and come back with it. But, a lot of people are talking about maybe him going in as a Red because he is from Ohio. Or two, in his Philly, when he was with the Phillies, he did have some pretty good numbers there too. But, I feel like as a Cardinal, that's where he got his name, more so than anything else, just because of who was around him.
If he don't go in as a Cardinal, he don't deserve a red jacket. He can kiss off.
He can take that red jacket off and throw it.
Is there a precedence for somebody going in under two logos?
No, you have to choose one. It's almost like the NFL Hall of Fame.
I thought there was some that didn't even have.
There was somebody that went in as two or didn't have anything.
Didn't have anything. So if it's either 0 or 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that has to do with the plaque. That's to do with the plaque and the hat, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
let's say
he
goes.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you want me to give the one that he deserves, go in as a Cardinal?
Who?
It's right here.
Oh,
that's
boy.
The one. If he don't go in as a Cardinal, that's crap.
So
it's his choice.
So he goes
his career.
Yeah.
Oh,
then
his
we'll
career
just
no.
He was an all-star third baseman in Philadelphia. He was still good. He was really good.
Yeah. I didn't say he wasn't.
Hey, just stop being a homer. Okay, stop being a homer. You're being a homer. That's exactly what's happening.
Wow.
You're at home. You're being a homer.
Have you seen the ballot of the first for next year? Who would be for the first year? There's only one that I think that's going to be a first teamer, and it's Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
Already?
He'll be the only first. Yeah.
He'd be the only one that I think would have a shot next year being a first year on the ballot.
Yep.
Well, Todd Helton missed it by 4%.
Maybe Joe Mauer, but he probably will get in eventually, but not first ballot.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be hard pressed to see anybody get it. If they continue down this path, if Beltre doesn't make it next year, I don't know if there's anybody else. I think it's going to be the contemporary guy, and that's it.
That's sad.
But that goes back to the problem that they have is they're not looking at baseball the way it is now. They're looking at baseball how it was when my dad was watching it. And some of these guys are younger than me, which makes no sense. I don't understand why they're doing that. They're not even looking at the game realistically. And the other thing that's really stupid is if you don't have so many votes, you fall off the ballot. Or if you're you've been there on there 15 years, you only get 15 years and that's it. Well, how many? 5? What is it?
No, I'm raising my hand.
Oh, yeah, yes, Jim. Go ahead. Who does this?
Part of the issue also is, and I hate to say it because a lot of these people are friends of mine. The beat writers are still stuck in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, Rick Hummel finally retired, and I love Hummel's work. You still got guys, on the West Coast that are 65. They're still covering these teams. The young people want to try and make some change, but you've got the old guard in the Baseball Writers Association that doesn't want to make that change because there's so many of the old guard that's still running everything when it comes to that organization that runs Cooperstown.
That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Hey, I got a problem.
What's problem. All right. You got a bunch, Jarvis, but let's hear them.
You're just now figuring that out.
No, that's a known fact.
Something we've known for years.
I'll tell you this. I ain't got a problem showing up for the show. I'm always there. But anyway.
Well, it's not a hole in your ceiling either. I'll say that.
There isn't right now. You want me to show you? No. Hey, Junior, shut up.
He said it. I love it. What's the problem?
Here's what angers me about the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose has to be in the Hall of Fame. It ticks me off every time his name's brought up. You're telling me there's no cheaters in the Hall of Fame? There's
a
no
bunch
one
of them.
Gambled on
There's
no one that gambled on baseball in the Hall of Fame. Bullshit.
Joe Jackson.
He should be in, no doubt.
As a player, definitely.
Yeah, as a player.
As a player, I agree. Absolutely.
He should be a Hall of Famer. It's stupid. Baseball's stupid about that.
He never will be, though.
But that's
Correct.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Joe Jackson, Pete Rose. Then you can talk to everybody who's in the steroid era: Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, A-Rod. I mean, hell, Manny Ramirez isn't going to be in the Hall of Fame. Andy Pettit, because he used human growth hormone to get over an injury one time. That's it. And he admitted to it. He could have got away with it scot clean. No big deal. But guess what? He admitted to it. And that's still no. You're one of the best postseason pitchers of all time. You won 200 games. No. But you did this one time.
Wasn't illegal. That stuff was not illegal on their list. And then you're gonna chastise these guys. Listen, you made all that money, MLB, off of them guys.
So the writers, the people who are voting on it,
and then you're not gonna vote them in. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he ever did steroids. Period.
I
yes,
still
he
think.
was.
Yes,
he was. Jim, you're insane.
I was.
That's
watching
garbage. That's garbage, Jim. Garbage.
I still think Pete Rose ends up getting it at some point, probably with the next commissioner.
He'll probably go when he dies.
That's what I think.
So that's what I think as well.
I think that's crap too.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's the system that they set up. Whatever big word Jim used is 100% right. But he's going to antiquated. There we go. I was going to say arbitrary, but I was like, that's not it. But I look at it like
y'all been drinking way too many Pepsis.
Antiquated, arbitrated.
I don't know. But I think he'll probably get in, but he'll be dead. He'll never see it. He'll never
Jarvis,
get to give a speech or anything like that.
That word's called posthumously when you're dead.
Thank you.
Posthumously. That means when you die.
It's not
after you die. Not when
I was going to say posthumously. I don't know how it's said. Like episcopal. Episcopal. Remember that one? That's a good story for another time.
We're letting the smart guy next to me talk about it.
I'm not smart. I'm just legally smart. Thanks for tuning in tonight. It's been real, and we'll see you guys hopefully all in person next week.